Good evening once again, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 2021 International 9-Ball Open. All right, thank you. The International 9-Ball Open is a Pat Fleming production, and it's brought to you by ACCUSTATS. As always, we're in the Simonis Aramuth Arena at the Sheraton Norfolk Waterside Hotel, our hosts for the past 4 years, and we thank them once again for their hospitality. We also again thank Diamond Billiard Products for providing us with the best equipment in the industry for all 3 of our events, and we thank them for being such a great industry partner. As is befitting the international title of this event, we've got players from 22 different countries vying for this most prestigious title. We've been in the knockout stage since 5 o'clock tonight. There were 32 players left at that time. It's now single elimination. When we head into tomorrow, there'll be 16 players left. So this is the last round of the evening. Let's find out who's going on and who's going home. Our first player is from Austria. He's come oh so close to taking down this championship, having a runner-up finish here in 2019. He's sponsored by Howe Tips and by Predator. Would you please welcome Max Lechner. His opponent, representing Singapore, this gentleman was the runner-up in the recently completed U.S. Open 9-Ball Championship, sponsored by Mez Q's. Kindly welcome Aloysius Yapp. All right, gentlemen, please come lag for the break if you would. Your official timekeeper is John Baker. I'm going to send it upstairs to the booth to Mark Wilson and special guest Mark Kendall. And your official for this match is Mr. Ed Ladawi.
Hello and welcome aboard. We're coming to you from high atop the ACCUSTATS Arena here at the Sheraton Waterside. Mark Kendall's here with me, Mark Wilson. And Mark, any pre-match thoughts on this one?
Well, I've seen Yapp play a couple matches today, and he is unbelievable. He really controls the cue ball. He's got a real repetitious, great stroke. He has a great demeanor at the table. Nothing affects him. He just runs out.
And a cheerful disposition, and that kind of helps when you have these matches that you battle and there's some adversity going to come. And being a little bit more lighthearted maybe lets you roll with the punches.
Yeah, I agree with that. He keeps a nice even keel. Nothing bothers him. And, yeah, he seems like a real good dude, real jovial, and just a great player. Lechner, I don't know much about. I guess he's from Norway?
Austria. And,
Austria.
Tremendous talent. He finished second here once before.
Yeah. I've seen him play once or twice just on, pay-per-view matches from Europe. He looks real solid. Comes the break.
He won the leg. They're using the cut break. Looks like something found the pocket, right? Didn't see which one went in, but nevertheless, he's grabbing his playing cue.
Yeah, I didn't see it. Look, so the cup break, they're trying to make the one in the side, I guess.
Right. It's they use that. They think that works the best with the 9-ball wrecked on the spot.
Well, the matches I've seen, the hard break, I've seen a lot of dry breaks with that. And so even on the outer tables, I think the cut break is the best. You know, you got to figure out that break. It's not the 80s where, you know, the big breakers or whatever, you know, they just hit them hard and tried to make the corner ball or whatever. These guys have, you know, thought a little beyond and kind of figured out a way to make a ball in the break. And, you know it's the most important shot. So.
Tough cut shot, and he just fractionally overcut that. He missed it on the pro side, and it was a nice stroke, too. So just a hard shot is all.
Yep.
It's like a rail first shot.
He just wanted to get too far out on the table if he does go around with the rail first because of the 3.
Because the one's protruding from the pocket just a little bit, that makes this shot play a little bit funny. It's easy to get too flat on this ball, where you hit too much of the one. He might have got a little too flat. Yeah, that's the issue there. The speed control part of that, very, very sensitive.
Might be able to spin this in.
Half masse. He's measuring it. It looks like it's enough of a masse that when he curves it enough, the cue ball is going to retain too much spin. He's worried about the 9-ball being introduced into the problem for the 3. But I guess first things first.
Once is enough.
Yeah. First things first. Make this. You can just kick in the 3 if worst comes to worst. I think is kind of what the plan's got to be.
Even if he got out on the table, it's cuttable. I mean, if he got out beyond the 9.
Oh, I think he kind of miscued on that or flinched his upper body.
Yeah.
Oh, he fouled. Okay, that's what happened.
He totally fouled.
Rubbed the 9 then. Well, that happened fast. I did not see that. I thought it was a miscue by the dimension that he missed by. That would be unusual.
Yeah, he just made a position error on the 1. Happens to the best of us. I mean, position error on the 2.
Well, we know you meant the rail first shot and led him into the problem, but it wasn't
But I think
easy,
if he did go rail first, he was going to go too far out on the table, and that's what he was thinking about.
Right. A little high right. Just bring the cue ball back towards the middle of the table where you can get his bridge hand down. This will be a 2-cushion position. He'd like to preserve an angle to get from the 5. He'll play the 5 in the long corner. He's measuring up the 4 right now for how he wants to get the angle on that 4 to transfer.
The two rail angles going to give him an angle on the 5 to get to the 6. That's why you do it. Don't want to get straight. But even that wouldn't be the worst. Yeah, that's perfect there. He goes, no matter how far the cue ball goes, unless it's really,
You're right.
That's the correct way to play position right there. It looks like he trained with you, Mark, the way he steps into the shot. That's the way you teach it.
Oh, he hit that way heavy. That's
You did
most
hit that
unusual.
heavy. Well, sometimes really early in the match, you got to get the jitters out, and then then you start seeing how they can perform. The first game's always can be a little funny.
Now, this is not an easy shot. That is Yapp playing safe here. That's locking in like he's cutting it.
Yeah, that's the shot, man. Look at that speed and everything. That's what I mean. Oh, it did leak out a little bit, but his cue ball controls are totally amazing. I mean, I literally watched 2 of his matches all the way through,
Yeah.
and really watch the way he controls the cue ball. It's pretty amazing.
For some of our listeners that don't know, Mark Kendall is a huge pool fan, a great player, and then he also plays guitar in a rock band called Great White. One of my favorites. He grew up in the Los Angeles pool scene, and he goes back to Keith McCready, Ronnie Allen, Richie Florence, Ernesto Dominguez. Knows and played all those guys. Lechner now with a jump shot, jump to a safety. You surely couldn't try to. Yeah, okay.
Be a little hard. Keep going this.
Look how good of his cue ball. I mean, he stopped the cue ball on the end rail. That was a really nice hit.
He's playing the cue ball
and very controlled. We were mentioning. Oh, go ahead.
Yapp can jump really good. He's pretty accurate. I mean, he probably just played for the hit here.
I like it. He's measuring the jump off to the side here to just get a little angle and feel for this. As tough as this opportunity is, these guys absolutely maximize every effort here to, well, it's so competitive if you can pick up a shot anywhere along the line. .45-degree angle with the cue and the follow-through. Super important. Great attempt.
That's a great hit. That's a great hit, right? A lot of great matches going on. Corey Deuel is down 8-7 over there. He was way up in that match, so guy's shooting back at him.
Pretty shot. Now, how's this cue ball going to be? It looks like it's not going to work out great. Pretty thin hit, Mark. Well, I guess he feels he's measuring it. He realizes this is thin. The cue ball's going to be hot. He'd like to put a little right-hand English on this, which makes that super thin hit even tougher.
Yeah. In a bad spot here.
Well, he seems committed to take this shot on.
What a shot. Oh, and he got the good bump on the 7. That was sweet.
And that was played, too. He measured that up a couple times, and that's why he introduced the right-hand English on the cue ball to check up off that side cushion to maybe have a chance to attack the 7.
Well done.
Yeah, good game there. Lechner takes the lead 1-0. He's kind of a stalwart on the European tour, so he's always up against the Ralph Souquets and the Homans and the Fillers. And so,
he's in tough competition.
Yeah, he's
all the time.
Exactly, and so he is a tough customer, no doubt about it.
Well, when I was telling you earlier, I have seen him play a couple times, and it was all big stage stuff, so this isn't new territory for him to be on camera and in front of a crowd. He's been on TV plenty.
Stay down. The clock hits 0 to execute without a foul.
Pretty exciting stuff. We're down to the top 32 here, which is the single elimination stage. Tremendous amount of great players that didn't make it this far, and there's no shame in that. It's just nothing but skill. I mean, how many matches have you watched?
Oh, man. Well, I don't even know. I've watched so many matches. You know, and you know, kind of pulling for people I know like Chris Robinson, and I mean, he played really well. You know, he got knocked out, but you play Gorst, and I still say he played great. I don't think he felt bad about how he played either.
Not in this crowd. I mean, this is the major leagues. You can play great and still lose. It has
Sure.
nothing to do with it. But if you keep playing great, you're going to have your day.
Exactly.
And look at that break by Yapp. I mean, my goodness. Like a textbook start here.
I just like the way he only does with the cue ball what's required. You know what I mean? He doesn't do anything, which I know, like this layout is, fairly simple as far as, layouts go, but he really concentrates. Look at how he's paying attention to this, what would be an easy out for a pro player. But he pays attention to the little increase,
Yeah, the intricacies of
the intricacies.
Ball management. And that's the thing that you take home. When you're here like this, when you go home, you're going to play better pool because you're going to be more attentive to look how hard he worked on a routine layout here that
Right.
you yourself could get these. But if you're just a little lax, he'll get them more often than you will.
Absolutely.
And so,
like drawing back the cue ball a foot exactly where he needed to be. It's
to reach easily. That way it makes getting to the next ball easier.
yeah. So that just shows he's really focused and just a top player. This is how you win. Play the right way, consistent. And pay attention to every little thing. Don't take anything for granted.
It's not making the hard shots. It's getting out these racks that you're supposed to get out. Then you're just tough to beat. And then if you ever do create another run out along the way that's really good, that separates you. If you break and run out, that separates you. You see he hits the heart of the pocket. And see, he didn't let up on the cue ball that time because the shot was just enough thin that he could go ahead and use 4 cushions.
Mm-hmm. His speed is always, rock solid. Like I said, I watched 2 matches from start to finish, and his cue balls always looks like this.
Yeah. And that's good pool
He
right
stays
there.
dead still, too.
One game apiece.
Break and run by Yapp. Yeah, he finished 3rd in the World 10-ball championship in Las Vegas. A week later, he was 2nd in the U.S. Open, one of the most prestigious tournaments in America. And it's basically a world tournament. Then he finished 1st in the Predator Michigan Open. And then he drove all day and went to Mike Durbin's place and worked on his game for 2 days. After all that, where a lot of other players would fill the trophy with champagne and party on, and he's
they go
working.
fishing and,
Yeah.
go to the beach. He goes back in the pool room and works on his game.
Oh, he loved Durbin's facility, too. He was all
man,
about
I'll
that.
bet. I've
He
been
was
there.
all about that.
If you walked in mid-match, you wouldn't know if he was losing or winning either. He has the same demeanor all the time, shows no weakness ever, and just plays the game great, man.
1-1 is our score as Max Lechner breaks off here. Rack number 3. 1 ball found the side pocket. That's what these guys try to make, and he's going to be presented with a good opportunity to score. 2 ball right in front of him.
That's the break right there, man. That one starts going to the side.
Now he's checking the 8 ball, and that's if there's going to be a stumbling block along the way, that's the most likely issue. It goes in the corner, the far corner anyway, as we sit. I'm not sure that it goes in the same corner pocket the 2 ball goes in. Another thing that is pretty cool is I was sitting in the arena the other day and I was just listening. When you hear pros hit the cue ball, their cue tone sounds different than amateurs, because they got super light grips on there, and the cue has the harmonics where it goes tong like that. And you don't even have to watch; you can kind of hear a good stroke.
A great example is filler. I I had a couple views from behind him, and the way he strikes the cue ball, it's just amazing to watch. With little effort, he moves the cue ball around the table. He doesn't jab or fire it real hard. He gets the cue ball to move just by this smooth stroke and the follow through. And he controls the white ball like unbelievable.
Yeah, he's no, and I love, like he shoots a shot. When he looks at a shot, he looks like, how could I miss it? And when I shoot that shot, it's like, oh boy, I can miss this one. There's trepidation. It's not like he never even considers missing. That's not even on the plate of what he does. It's refreshing to watch, and it's also very inspirational.
Yeah, I agree. Consistent stroke, never changes anything. Totally confident.
Okay, preserved plenty of angle here to get to the 8 in that same corner pocket that the 7 goes.
Yeah, great. Yeah, he sussed that out. Didn't really have an opportunity to break it up, so he's going to go ahead and play shape for the far corner, left corner.
This is a speed control shot. You're kind of rolling across your line of position.
Oh, he went ahead and went this way. That's good. He should be fine here.
Yeah, that's what he was striving for. Now he has to go lightly into the 9. That won't be a problem. But had he gone another inch or two, he would have even been better. But
The reason I like the way he played position is going away, he's still in line.
mm-hmm.
Had he gone 2 rails, he might cross the line, and then that's no good.
Very smooth. Be able to arc the cue ball out around the 9 there from close range. Leaves himself with this, a very routine 9 ball for a break and run out to retaliate to Yapp's break and run out. 2-1 is our score.
When people teach going around rails, you want to go toward your position. That was going away from position at a slower speed. So no matter if it leaves you margin for error, just like going into position.
Right. Right.
And so that was the right way to play that shot, man. Really nice out there.
Yeah, we're going to see a high-quality performance out of both these two guys. They're tough.
Look at Arcolo over there working on his break.
Yeah, but he's serious about winning this event, too.
Oh, yeah. He won a real close match over there, Hill, with Pagulian. Pagulian had the last break, too. He broke dry and he ran out. Here he goes. Look at the focus.
He starts off aiming downward, then he ends up getting flat. I love the pause, the aiming, the care. Well,
How's your cue ball?
cue ball's okay.
Oh, man.
But
He got right on top.
dry break.
Dry break, yeah. Well, there's been a lot of dry breaks. I mean, that tables aren't giving that balls easy. That's for sure.
They're racking the 1 on the spot, or the 9 on the spot.
No.
And then they're trying to play the 1 as a cut break to get the 1 to go into the side. But then that means a lot of times you don't get the ball action that the head-on break produces. So,
And the cue ball kind of flies around a little bit. And,
Oh, yeah.
Balls can kiss it. Funny stuff happens.
yeah.
It's not like the old school way where we squatted the rock in the center. They're doing something. They need to make balls.
Extension applied.
I mean, that's still the break if it's working.
Mm-hmm.
I see guys racking the balls and practicing their break.
Oh, yeah.
Before tournaments in the tournament room.
Last night after hours, it was Corey Dool in here breaking. Arcolo was in here breaking. And who else was back there? That was really serious about it. Pagulian, was in here. And that was pretty late at night after a long day here in the tournament venue.
Then when the tournament starts, they put them on a table that breaks completely different.
Right. They're getting their
I'm
timing.
kidding.
Yeah,
No, yeah,
exactly
they get the
right.
timing. No, I love it. It's inspirational for me to see that because, I totally respect that they're guys that play on that level working on their game.
Yeah.
It's just awesome.
Super thin cut here on the 2. Good look there. Great camera work. Oh,
The
nice
touch he
shot.
has, that is
Nice
really
shot.
sweet.
And what a good picture that was. You can see the cue ball coming in there with hot left spin. It hit the 2 ball, then chipped the 4 ball, and then that arced it back to the 3 ball here.
He looks really good over the ball in general. His setup is, and he does it.
Yeah.
Like I said, like you teach, he walks into the shot. He, takes his time.
And it's every time. He does exactly the same.
Super balanced. He makes his plan while he's standing up. Good steady pace. He's making a plan in his head. He just doesn't get down on the shot. Like I've seen players sometimes, mostly amateurs, where they get down on the shot and they look. Their heads going around the table you're supposed to do all that before you get down.
Yes, that's so true.
It's a little bit of an angle on this 7, so you can.
Get the cue ball away from the rail.
Yeah, because you don't want to get on. Yeah, see, this is sweet. Now he's looking at because he wants to get the proper angle on the 8, not get on the wrong side of it. Get down for the 9. Paying attention to every detail.
And these guys can make anything work because they've had to, but they know there's one way that makes it more often, and that's what they're striving for.
Ooh. I thought he was going to play for the left corner.
Well, he was.
He's still okay.
The cue ball got away from him just a little. Oh, you're saying come on across a little further. Yeah.
Come across.
Yeah.
But, even hit the other rail and come out, and that would have left him a nice angle on the 8 to come down table. But he ended up okay. He can go 2 rails here. 2 rails out. Might even touch the 3rd rail if you. No, just going to go 2 rails. He ended up perfect. This is great. Position by default.
That's where the cue ball wanted to go, so he just rationed out the speed.
Yeah. The only reason I thought he was going to do that is because of the angle was a little bit severe. He really had to.
3-1 is our score, and it's really a pleasure to watch pool played at this level. So beautiful.
I love it. And the setup here, ACCUSTATS and Pat and his crew do such an amazing job. I was really wondering what it was going to look like because I only see it, on the internet. So I'm only seeing the camera views that you guys have here on the feature table. To come down here and see it in person is a whole different animal. And there is not one match you can't watch when you come down here and see everything great. The seating is perfect. The lighting, everything is just perfect. Perfect conditions.
Very comfortable, great equipment. Everybody's here because they're passionate about it. And I mean, oftentimes, how often can you sit in the stands and talk to the players in between matches, or you're right there after the match? I mean, they're very
and they're
accessible.
personable. They're very nice. Every player I have met is just real sweet. Very good people.
The cue ball got hot and went into the side. Yapp's going to have ball in hand with a really open layout.
Now, if I'm playing Yapp, I don't want to give him ball in hand.
He too is meticulous about his angles and approaches, and like you said, you noticed his ball speed is always consistent.
Takes nothing for granted. Look at that speed, man. It's such a nice touch, you know. Or draw up for the 5. Or maybe stop it if it's okay there. Yeah, draw it out. I think he wants to get the angle where he goes 2 rails for the 8 and retains an angle to get on the 9. He might play 1 rail down with the 7 because of the angle he got on the 5 ball.
Right. And
This looks great. Oh, he's got the 6. I didn't even see the 6. The camera was in my view.
yeah,
Okay.
he's fallen just a little flat on the 6,
Yeah,
so
he
he's
is.
going to have to make a decision here. He would like to kind of get the cue ball back where he's at now, or get it all the way back across the line. I think that's maybe where he's going to go. I don't know if we can get the overhead, if it's too late. But yeah, well, here we got it. So he would like to get back. If this is straight in, he would like to be on this side of that if he's going to draw. Otherwise, he wants to be about where he's at now. One of those
Right.
two things.
Let's see what he did.
Okay,
He,
so
he
he
went
went.
ahead and took the angle that he had before he shot the 6, which is probably the easiest.
But now there is the issue with the side pocket. If you just go straight topspin, it's easy to end up on the side rail or hit the point over there. So you have to play really good speed here.
Yeah.
And if you have to introduce a hint of Czech English, in this case, it'd be maybe right, just a hint of right to
Let's
bring
see
it
if he
straight
uses
down.
no English. It almost looks like he might be able to use. Well, I think you got it right. Just a little bit, a half a tip of right.
Looks like he's
You
going
bring
no
it
English.
straight down. Yeah, he's just coming
That's
straight.
no English.
Oh,
and
he's using speed.
there's a scratch, though, with that. So now he's falling he's got a
Little
little
straight,
angle.
yeah.
Okay. Sure, he's relieved over that effort.
That's the only thing about not using rails on shots like this is you might get too straight in. You know, because he
Yeah.
just relied on his speed, and he knew, you got to get past the 9 too. So you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
But it's actually better to overrun it than end up behind the 9.
Just play this for the side pocket, 2 cushions.
Yeah.
Right? Don't try to force it.
Don't force it. Play for the side. That's what I mean. He only does with the cue ball what's required. He doesn't try to do a lot of extra stuff.
Yeah.
And get himself in trouble.
And it's
Like
amazing.
miss a ball because you're doing something.
Guys
crazy.
that have immense talents do less than guys that don't have those talents, and then
Yeah.
the consistency rate changes. So it's kind of that less is more.
Yeah, when somebody has like a really long shot and they try to draw it all the way back and they miss the ball.
Right.
A lot of times, maybe draw back a foot or just you got to make sure you make the ball. Don't miss the ball and leave the guy an easy out.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to see a lot of mistakes like that from Yapp.
That was, even though it's early on, that was a pretty big game because the difference of 3-2 versus 4-1
It's
is,
huge.
yeah, it's,
It's huge.
and especially, in this format, when you look over at Lechner, he's not giving you much to work with, he doesn't figure to anyway.
Right. And it's alternate break, which this is something not really super new, but, even though this isn't the U.S. Open, it's being performed in the same arena that the U.S. Open used to be in. It's called the International Open now, but the same players that played the U.S. Open are here.
Right. No, it's absolutely well. There's there's nothing bigger. This is brilliant.
In that event, it was always winner breaks. Now this is, the games are more important when you're switching breakers every game. You never see somebody run 5 racks or something. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's really important to pay attention. Well, in any format it is, but I mean the games are more important when your opponent, especially if he has a good break.
Right. There's always people say, well, you don't get to see a guy who can't come back or something. Well, there was a way the guy got ahead to begin with in the alternate break.
Right.
And one time Alan Hopkins had Efren Reyes down 10-0 alternate to break, and Efren beat him. So I guess you couldn't come back.
That Corey lost over there 10-8. Yeah. Oh, that's a shame.
Lechner now with a very thin cut on the one after the dry break by Yapp.
Got a problem here.
Yeah, just a hint of the wrong angle. I think he can pinch the cue ball back and have a reasonable control on the 3. Mark, do you have a carbon fiber shaft, or do you play wood?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't have a carbon fiber. It's wood. It's not even low deflection.
Oh, you're old schooler.
Guess I'm kind of an old schooler.
Me too. Yeah.
I played with John Smith's cue, and I couldn't do anything. It was really so different.
Yeah.
Not that I couldn't change. In fact, I talked to Oscar Dominguez, because you need to get the carbon fiber shaft, and, he could be right.
It appears the pros are pretty equally divided, though. You see a half and half.
Yeah. Look at Orcola over there, man, working that break.
Yeah.
Man. He's such a solid player.
And he works so hard on his game. I don't know that anybody works any harder for sure. Shane would be in that category, but
yeah.
Look at this. Nice angle to get the 6 loose. That was well played.
Yeah.
Pretty smart.
I was even thinking to use inside English on that 3 and just barely bump the 6, kind of like a controlled bump,
Yeah.
But that's a little too crazy. I was just wondering how he was going to.
Oh, he's looking at
it goes by.
Just playing short side.
It goes by in the right corner.
These guys do not like to move balls if they don't have to.
Yeah, okay. That's great. Need a nice touch here to get over there and get straight in.
Head still all the way
that's
through.
Great. But even though he's got a tough cut, there's hardly any margin for error on that shot. So he can cut this in and go 2 or 3 rails out of that right corner.
It looks like side pocket is better in this case.
I don't know. Well, then he's
Borderline.
going to be really long on the
Absolutely.
7.
Yeah, now he's looking at the measuring up the cut.
Yeah, like 3 rails. 3 rails around is what I see.
So I think the problem is it's going to be more than 3 rails because it's going to be so thin.
Well, we'll see.
So
Let's see what kind of
be
speed.
3 rails plus a half a rail, which means what I'm trying to say, he's going to be very long on the 7, I think, unless he really floats it over there.
Yeah, you're right. Just rifle it and go 5 rails. Main thing is to make it. Sure you make it.
He did.
Look at that.
Oh,
1,
good speed,
2, 3. And
Yeah.
perfect.
Wow, good call.
Man, nice shot on the six.
It was.
You see how slow it was rolling?
Yes,
He was
I
real
did.
thin. Like you said, he has to float it. He just hit that spot on. Good shot. I like his setup. He looks like Allison Fisher.
He's a pretty consistent performer for sure.
Looks over every shot about the same amount of time, if you notice. He takes nothing for granted. Awesome.
Well done.
See why these two guys are still in the tournament.
Yeah. Tough as could be. We've got some great fans out there, too. Kathy Joy Sawyer's listening in Oklahoma. We got Bridget Kendall listening in California. Mike Durbin, Sullivan, Illinois. Alan Oliver, St. Charles, Missouri.
A pretty good crowd here.
One of the things you said about how comfortable it is. I mean, there's a lot of people that go with a cheaper arrangement, but it's not classy. It's tiered up seating, and they're individual seats that have pads, and it's comfortable to sit in there. And then, like you said, you can float around to different tables and see what's going on.
Yeah. That's what I like. So-and-so's playing over on that table. I go to the other side and watch that. And you can really see the tables well, no matter what match it is. You can go sweat your buddy or whatever.
No, it's totally fun.
Your favorite player, you can see him play. As many times as you want. It's just great to be here live.
I'm like you though, Mark. Sometimes I'll end up working 4 matches in one day up here, and then there's Strickland's playing on the center. I'll sit out in the crowd and watch the 5th match of the day.
Right on, man.
It's so cool.
Yeah. It's amazing how popular he is. Like, I noticed the crowd will shift to where he's playing, like especially on the feature table. It just went crazy.
There's so many good matches to watch. It's just fun. How can you go to bed, be 1 in the morning, I'm down here still like, I got to work all day tomorrow. What am I doing? It's just so much fun.
And I also, there's been a few players that I have no idea who they are. Like, I haven't heard of them at all, and they play just incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just unbelievable.
We sometimes joke around about.
Look at this shot.
Oh, perfect.
How's your speed? That was a great shot.
It was. That puts a big hurting on Aloysius. We sometimes joke around about, like, if it's an Asian name and you never heard of it, he plays better than the Asian names that you have heard of. You just figure that out. They're going to be tough.
Look him lining it up, just like,
Oh, yeah, there's total care. It's never just like, I got to kick this.
Because I want to hit this because I don't want to give this guy ball in hand.
And then there'll be a choice with speed. He'll try to use a good speed with it.
That was a good speed. This is a heck of a lot better than ball in hand right there.
Boy, you're not kidding. I don't even know if it goes.
Got no pocket.
And maybe it does.
I don't think he has a pocket.
Well, then maybe it doesn't. It was a perfect shot.
With the camera angle that I'm seeing, it doesn't go by. There might maybe a half a pocket, but he's not going to shoot that. He's going to figure out some kind of safety. Maybe try to put him behind the 3 or see what he does here.
I'm kind of thinking he might bank it back straight back down there. and let the cue ball float up
Yeah.
behind the 9.
That's what I like.
Oh,
Oh, he's doing
he's
this.
using the clutter.
Yeah, I didn't like that choice.
Okay.
Not because it didn't work out, because I saw more of like having it go straight up table off the bottom rail and
Yep.
and like follow it and get the cue ball somewhere over near the 8.
And we're certainly not being critical because down there the angle looks a little different than it does here too.
Sure.
But if he could have gotten some greater separation, that would have been better because it looks like Yapp is straight in on the 1. And he's elevating to try to create a little angle towards the 2.
Look at this shot.
Yeah.
See, that's something that's the kind of stroke that you don't see that often.
No, that's uncommon skills there because
Definitely.
the slight angle gets the cue ball hopping a little bit, so it holds this no spin longer to create the angle away from the 1 so that he can just get around the 7 and get out here on the 2. Yeah, you're right. That's an uncommon stroke that you don't see as kind of that intermediate stun shot type of stroke.
Because he was jacked up on the rail, and you know what that's like.
And just look how clean he hits the pocket with everything.
Yeah.
It's just
He strikes the cue ball just great.
It helps your ball speed so much when you're not cobbling them into the pocket, but they go right down the heart where you anticipate. Then your position play is spot on.
Now this 7's a little bit of a problem.
Certainly is.
You got to figure that out.
Last choice will be the combination. So he'll try to work around and get either below it or above it or at it, come right at it somehow.
Going around the 4. Now, here we go. What are we doing with the 7?
And there's a multitude of ways to get to the 7, and he'll definitely have a plan. But if slightly he's off with his position, he may have to modify. But he'll definitely have a plan beforehand.
Yeah.
It looks to me like he would like to follow to the end rail, but with that topspin, he's afraid that it'll lodge on the side cushion. That's the one thing he doesn't want is have the cue ball on the cushion to be able to maneuver for the 7. So he'd like to be at least near the center of the table.
Right. He gets.
Okay. He puts the side spin on there deliberately to make sure he's not trapped on the rail. Now,
Well, does he have enough angle to go around 2 cushions and play for this corner or the side?
looks like he
the
does,
far side?
but he's flat enough. He's going to have to hit enough 6-ball. He's going to have to really put some pace on the cue ball to get it to travel.
Flat. He looks a little flat. Yeah, because when you hit a ball that full, you really need a lot of energy to move the cue ball. I've made that mistake so many times when I...
Yeah. The one thing with him, he doesn't have, watch his elbow. It doesn't collapse. So.
It looks like he might... Yeah, he went too
He's short, way short.
Yeah.
So he just played he played that for the combination. Okay. Everything was so tough, and he did just what you said. He does the economy of travel on the cue ball thing.
Yeah.
But look, he fell on the good line for the combo. Oh, that was pretty heady there. He didn't try to force something because he just didn't fall right on that ball.
And he might be able to control the 7 here if he does make the combo, if he draws the cue ball. Oh, man. See, the 7 was great there. Yeah, very difficult shot, and those kind of shots are easily missed. It's, combinations like that.
Yeah, you bet. They're 3 times harder or more than maybe a straight-in ball would be.
Now, this is a little easier, and he can control the 7 for sure here, which Yapp just did too. He controlled the 7. He hit it right, just a little off. This is going to go toward the other corner, the 7. He'll just stop the cue ball. There you go.
Just floats right in there. Just pretty.
I really like his setup.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, plenty of clearance to get through the balls. 9 ball goes down, gives Lechner a 3-game lead at 5-2. And really, it's a high-quality match, but Yapp has had a couple maybe rocky starts here or rocky shots to deal with. He's not playing poorly at all.
And if you look at him, you wouldn't know that.
Just
No.
Service announcement.
He's
playing pretty
If you
solid.
get hungry or
Yeah.
thinking about food, they're closing the food
I heard,
station in 5 minutes.
in the words of Keith McCready, we got us a pool match here. I saw him play Parika in 2003 in the U.S. Open, and he's commentating himself. That's what he said. He made a really good shot. And he goes, "We got us a pool match here."
Yeah, he added so much fun and dimension.
Oh, great!
Yeah.
He won the first game, and he said, "I beat the line. I got one."
Yeah, the line.
The line, you know what I mean?
Like he's that bad.
Like he wasn't even supposed to
one.
get to one or
Right.
whatever. He's just hysterical. I really like him.
He certainly had the flavor.
Okay, here comes the break. He wants to make a ball and get on the lowest number ball.
Probably playing the one on the side here.
Got it.
Ranged
Oh.
in.
Ooh.
Is that the 2-ball? It is. Not in the easiest
Ooh.
spot, but not a terrible spot because now the 3's dripping over the side pocket. So
Yeah.
that really helps on this 2-ball. You don't have to do anything great with the cue ball. Just get the 2-ball down.
I think like we know he's not going to take anything for granted, but you got to figure if he makes this 2, he's going to be in real good shape.
Made 3 balls on the break.
Look, he was a little unsure, so he got up off it. Reset. Great shot. Nice and smooth.
I don't think he's going to travel the cushions. I think he'll just draw straight back.
Yeah, because it's right up the pocket. He doesn't have to go up table here. He could just like you said, straight back. Want to get straight in. Perfect. Beautiful. Now the 10-footer, these type stretcher shots are tough. And, it gives you something extra to think about when you play position. Cause
Yeah, you get to see a lot of the 10-foot event here. I'm really glad you made it out in time for that.
We both saw Gomez. I don't know if you remember the shot, but it'd be routine on this table. But because of the stretching and he was over balls, he missed it because it's a whole different animal, that 10-footer. He almost has a Snicker stance, doesn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, he's got a kind of a wide clearance there. Quality break and run out there for Aloysius.
Nice.
Pulls back a game, much needed game. And he's a steady customer, no doubt.
His elbow stays real still. And, he's got that straight pendulum. The cue goes real straight. Just perfect fundamentals.
Gets through the ball every time straight. For those of you listening, I was sitting in the crowd with Mark earlier today, and he's got a show in Philadelphia on Friday. He's got to leave tomorrow. He said, I need to go restring my guitar, but I'll wait till tomorrow because I don't want to miss a half hour.
Also, I was telling this guy, he goes, how come you didn't play in the tournament? I go, well, I would have had to leave early. Not that I would have made it that far, but to go into a tournament, when I got to leave 2 days before it ends, I mean, God,
exactly.
That's just terrible.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to get knocked out in 2 anyways.
Yeah. Well, you're going to have your money's worth. You're going to have so much fun.
Yeah, this is, man. I'm learning a lot just watching these guys. Things I want to work on.
Mm-hmm.
One thing is staying smooth through the cue ball. I just,
Isn't that a big deal? Boy.
God, it's such a big deal.
You have a Brunswick 9-foot gold crown at home. Is that correct? Yeah. Way cool. And it's not like Mark Kendall can't play. His high run's 72. He ran a 70. Recently ran a 55 playing straight pool. But that's also why you're good at commentary, because you understand these little nuances of the differences, and you've rehearsed your commentary style at home watching ACCUSTATS with Bridget.
I actually, I call the shots because it's really fun, especially in one pocket, because I'm just a beginner. I'm getting to understand, but as far as me executing and playing one pocket, I'm very new, but I like to call the shots in advance and see if I'm right. In one pocket, it's more challenging to where the game by numbers is obviously the easier because I've played so often, so long. But still not always, I'm not always right or whatever. But,
Yeah, that's right.
It's fun to do this and, really neat to come out and see Pat's production here because, man, if you haven't been here, you got to come out and see this stuff, man. It is impressive.
Inside spin is how's his speed? I think he's going to be okay. Good shot.
Doesn't really have a I guess
he's
he
a
can
little
cut
short.
At the side.
Yeah, a little
cut
short.
At the side. Kind of a thin cut. Got a little low right English and come back out.
The jib camera had me. I did not see the 3-ball on the table. So anyway, I see it now. I thought he was getting on the 4 there. We even get snookered here
This
in the
isn't
booth.
bad,
Well, the cue ball gets hot is the only issue, but it looks like he can still control it.
Yeah. Even just low English, it's a little thin, but I don't think he'll run into the 9 or anything.
Yeah.
Oh. Maybe he was thinking about where the cue's going. A little, you know how you divide your concentration?
Yeah,
Sometimes you're...
It also looked like his head moved or his shoulders moved just a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like he was going to get a little extra, just a whisker. It didn't take much, but it was a sensitive shot, and those are the ones that, will fracture your technique sometimes.
That's why it's really good to be fully committed to what you're going to do before you get down on the shot, and then what you're going to do with the cue ball, and then execute the shot. Because if you start thinking about where the cue's going when you're down there, you might lose focus on the shot. And it's a common thing. It happens to the greatest players.
We've all done it.
Sometimes they divide their concentration, and it causes the miss.
Well, we watched Mika yesterday on the 10-foot table completely lose his game where he was getting quick and erratic and then trying to hurry it up. And after watching perhaps the greatest match I ever saw him play, and then he became a somewhat ordinary pro in another match that he ended
I
up
spoke
losing.
to him a little bit about that. He said, I wish that the finals would have been like tomorrow. He said this table wears you out, man. And I've played in tournaments, and he's in great shape. I've played in tournaments before, and I'm there for 9 hours. Literally, that's why I know why they say you should be in great shape when you play in these tournaments, especially like what is this, 7 days?
9 days,
9 days or whatever. You need to be in pretty good physical shape to hold up. But that 10-footer, I'm sure it wears you out mentally because it takes a lot of focus on,
And it takes even more when you're an unfamiliar because there's no 10-footers around. So these guys have to come in here cold and get up there and perform. Where do you find the 10-footer at? It's non-existent almost.
It's a tough game. Takes a lot of work to become a great player. And, that's why I appreciate it so much because I kind of understand how hard it is.
Yeah.
From doing it myself. And it's, to watch these guys just play this good is just, it's scary. I mean, there's
Right. Well, Mark's heard me say this before, and he knows, and we've trained together a few times, but the discipline that it took him to master guitar is what allows him to become good at pool. It's the same exact discipline, it's just applied slightly different. And so he has a feeling for the nuances of how hard you have to work to become skilled.
definitely.
Lechner,
That's why, like the way Lechner sets up, he does it the same way every time. It gives him something to go to that's consistent, and it's just so those things are so important. And I only compared him to Allison Fisher because every time she sets up for a shot, she does the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing, man. Just like straight stroke. She looks the same over the cue no matter what the shot is. And, any top pro, they really seem to have good mechanics, good fundamentals. They don't jump up. So 6-3 Lechner
And
over Yapp, and
really high quality, 902 to 872.
900 pool, man. It's tough to beat.
And it's gotten so much more commonplace in the last few years than it was, say 5 years ago.
Man, I totally agree, and I really pay attention to that because I don't know how many ACCUSTATS tapes. It's got to be over 100. I've been ordering tapes since the early 90s from Pat.
Yeah.
So I pay attention to the TPA,
Yeah.
total performance average, and when you see the score and you see who wins the match, it's always, rarely is it the guy that shot a little under the other guy's performance average. And 900 is like world-class pool. It's just unbelievable pool.
Yeah. Here, Yapp hit the break great and sent the cue ball through the stack, got the 9 ball in action, but the cue ball came off the 9 up back into the side pockets. A lot of times when the cue ball dunks into the side pocket, it's the player's problem.
5 minutes.
Now, this is unusual. We're having a player timeout in the middle of a rack.
Cutting the
My cheeseburger?
Well, we're back.
here we are.
This is the first time I've seen a player timeout in the middle of a rack for a while. So,
Yeah.
but
Maybe you had to use the restroom really quick or whatever.
sometimes after an error for a player, players do like to take a break because they want the other player to sit there and fret about what a dumb
Now
shot
look at
that
his
was.
setup. Look at how straight his arm is, straight
Yeah.
down. Everything that you teach, pretty much, perfect stance.
Yeah, he's got plenty of clearance in there, and it allows him to travel the cue very straight, unimpeded. There's no rib cage in the way.
Right.
Well, he hooked himself, and he's
Yeah.
unhappy. So here we are bragging on him, and meanwhile he's played an errant position with ball in hand. One thing with ball in hand. Now here he came back, ball in hand. He got 2 balls. It's almost criminal that you don't get 3. If you can just get through 3 with ball in hand, that's got to be the objective every time. And that's what we've all done, where we've got 0 or even just only 1. And it's kind of embarrassing, but you really have to fight and work hard to make sure you get 3 balls down with ball in hand. Oftentimes the rest of the rack by that point lays up pretty good. Look at that shot. Look at that shot.
Now he's just showing up.
Wow.
He's going to be doing a Miller commercial next.
No, but you had to kind of warp that angle. It wasn't just a natural kick in.
Yeah. He kind of spun it off the rail.
Boy.
Missed the 9. Now what's he going to do here? Cut it in? Looks like
No,
it.
I don't think so. I think he's got to play
a lot of
safe. doesn't
inside and come straight down.
he? Is he?
Oh, he's going to go around the table. That's going to be. I would use the inside English if he's cutting. Oh, he went ahead and banked it. How's your speed? That's pretty
Pretty good.
Man.
He's fighting through this rack. Whew. Never dreamed with ball in hand 4 balls ago that we have seen these 2 shots.
Yap had to think, man, I'm going to
Yeah,
get to the table.
catch a
I gotta
little
go
break here.
Yeah. He kicks the ball in and runs out. Great speed there. Really, oh, man. Paying full attention to everything here on the easy 3 balls, but he
Yeah.
doesn't take it for granted.
I always
Ooh.
say, yeah, kind of a funny.
Yeah.
I always say
like
there's no such thing as easy. It's
Was
just
that a
less
skid?
difficult. No, it wasn't a skid. It was kind of like he dropped his arm or he let up on the
Wow.
stroke or something because it didn't draw back at all.
Yeah, saying it's easy is the wrong terminology. It was kind of routine, but at the same time, you need to give it your full attention and
Right. We all say easy, but we
prepare
really
to
should
execute.
Well, we all know we've messed up easy outs.
Oh yeah,
So,
yeah. That's because you're taking it for granted. You know, you just this is an easy shot.
Lechner, 9-15, but boy, he had to do some work there after ball in hand. He's even shaking his head like, good Lord. Really messed that one up. And still, that was the case of it looks like a line drive in the box score, Mark.
Yeah.
You know that phrase? A guy gets a little Texas League or blooper 4-hopper through the infield. It looks like a line drive tomorrow in the box score.
Lechner's dressed like you can almost tell he's from Europe somewhere. Like, he's looking pretty slick out there. Well, both of them are. Yap has a lot of fight. He's not giving up. I can guarantee that.
Oh yeah,
This guy's a player.
I always get a kick out of it. Fillers down like at this stage of the match, 7-3.
Yeah.
It's like no problem. Just give me a shot.
I know.
And the score is actually about tied in reality.
I just saw a match with him, and it might have been this tournament from home though. Before I came out. And somebody was up 4-0 on him, and it was like, ha, 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 talking to his girlfriend,
I'll just run out. It's my turn. All right.
He's not cocky, though. He's just, he's confident.
Left side of the box.
He deserves to be.
Oh, yeah. He can back it up. I used to think he was arrogant or cocky, and then after getting to know him, he's a great guy.
That's what I've heard. That's what I've heard. See, the observation of people, they're making a judgment call without even ever talking to him or anything.
Yeah.
He's a sweet guy. He's a fierce competitor,
Talent beyond this world.
Unbelievable.
Never seen anything like it.
And you've seen a lot of pool. That's saying a lot.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I see players play wrong, and they really do a lot of work with the cue ball to where he, with little effort, moves that cue ball around. And it is just so amazing to look at. Dig the referee, making sure he doesn't foul, which he's not even close to fouling, but that's good. The ref's right on the game.
Yeah, invested and involved. Well, that's just professional. That's all.
He's trying to think. He cuts his ball in. He doesn't want to miss the shot and leave him easy over the corners.
I think the 9 ball. Well, he's got some blockers there if he misses it. But he had to kick safe. That's the problem. He didn't have a clear
He
look.
played that.
Just a little bit strong.
Hard, yeah, just a little hard. That's a great shot. That's why he was spending so much time. It wasn't because he was cutting it in. He was going to go behind it. He wanted to hook him behind the 8-6.
Now, Lechner has a choice. He could try to go for safety. He could try to go for the 9. If he goes for the 9, he has a chance to make the 7 as well. He'll definitely factor that in. But he'll be committed to one shot here, and that will be the 9. And the 7 is just by the way, if I make the 7.
And you can tell he commits before he goes down on the shot, every shot, no matter what the shot is. looking at the spot he wants to hit on the 1. He can make the 1 and the 9 on the shot.
What a shot.
Just missed
What
the
a
1.
shot. Good
The 1
Lord.
almost went.
Wow. That went in like a freight train. 8-3 now is our score.
He really focused on where to hit that 1 and kept the cue straight.
That is a big game, too.
Huge.
Big time performance here so far by Max Lechner.
7-3 is one thing. 8-3.
Right.
Yapp needs
right.
to get going here.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting, too, because in the first rack, Lechner missed 2 balls, 2 open balls. That one was a real tough cut, and the other one was a very routine shot.
Yeah.
And so now he's back playing at a 918. That means he's virtually made no mistakes since that
Right.
opening ugliness, and come right on
That's,
through.
I think that's when you see, if there are going to be mistakes from people on this level, it would be the first game kind of getting out there.
Right.
And, I mean, they're not coming in cold. They're warmed up, but,
Right.
the lights, the cameras, the average viewer doesn't realize how. Well, they might realize, but I'm just saying that the pressure out there's a lot going on, and coming out of the gate might start a little rough sometimes.
Same thing in Major League Baseball. If you don't get a good pitcher in the first inning, a lot of times they get going. They got 7 shutout innings in no time.
I always say when I got my team, and I go, he needs to do good the first inning.
Yeah.
Come out of the gate.
Well, Yapp did not hit those good at all. The cue ball went all the way to the end rail. You can see there's not much ball action there.
He might have got lucky here.
He might have, but he's disappointed that
Oh,
he
yeah,
didn't get
he's
more.
disappointed.
You got to create some offense from these breaks. And
Yes, you do.
he's just not doing that right now.
You got to hyper focus. If you have a break that you want to use, really have to hit the 1 correctly. And that looked like he hit it a little bit thinner than he was before.
Yeah, he was kind of in a hurry, trying to let's get going here, and he forgot about completing the stroke and making that nice smooth transition as much as he usually does.
No,
The
one
safety.
doesn't go.
Oh boy,
Oh,
you grotesquely mishit that one. That
Yeah.
was-
let's see what he does here. Not sure he'll try to make this. What do you see here, Mark? Anything?
No, he's going to cut it in. I feel
Yeah?
confident about that.
Straight up and down.
It's tough, and it might even require
Very
side
tough.
spin to get this in. It's pretty thin, and there is some clutter out there. But Yapp is probably
the
out of the mood to
bridge.
play safety from here.
And with the bridge, even.
You might even go inside English and just try to lightly
Yeah.
rub the 2 coming across there. Yeah,
Oh, it fell.
and
And he's on the 1.
or 2.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I thought he might be able to just chip the 2 and slow the cue ball down.
That was nice. 4 is a little trouble. I don't think it might go in the left side pocket.
Yeah, that's the 5 right there tied to the 9. They were talking about the 5 ball. The 4 is down here on the end rail. They look very similar, Mark.
Yeah, I had to get used to that.
Yeah.
You
Right.
when on the first match we commentated, I better not call the wrong number here.
Yeah, we work together. Now, he doesn't want to get below the 4. That's a real problem. He's got to stay above the 4. And by that, I mean not down on the end rail with the cue ball here.
Right.
It's a little sensitive exchange. Look at that nice
Ooh.
ball speed. He stayed above the 4 where he needed to be to get the 5 to go into the side.
That's great control too, man. Because usually people play to come off a rail. And it's just, but he has such good control of the cue ball. He did it that way. Really nice.
Look at that speed.
Now that.
Look at that speed.
See what I mean about his cue ball? It's like incredible, man.
That was
He's
a
like,
good shot.
Clean that cue ball for me. Oh, no, they're just
Taking
removing the rack.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, especially this shot. Get that paper thing out of there.
Yeah.
I've seen guys leave it on when they shoot the 9.
Oh, yeah.
Not this tournament, but
yeah.
I've seen that before where they just
Yeah.
fire the 9 in over it. Because if you see a ball roll over it slowly, it curves and just all
Yeah,
kinds of-
it'll distort once in a while. That's the bad thing with them, but the neutrality of it for breaking is a good thing.
Look at this go straight in.
Yeah, well, that's why he played it for that.
Look at that control. Gorgeous.
Yeah. Yeah, he's for sure a good player.
He knows he needs to play mistake-free pool now. Down 8-3.
Now, there's that little in-between stun run type of a hit. You see what I'm saying there?
Yeah.
He popped that, but then it had just that little tidbit of top spin to it. So
Now he's going to grab the extension because he has to reach out a little bit here.
and he's left-handed.
Not extreme. It's not as extreme as the 10-footer. But so he can reach this comfortably. Almost all these players have different, they have different lengths extensions for certain shots. Oh, I just need my short one for this, or they might pull out to go 2 feet longer. You almost have to have it on the 10-footer. Because sometimes you can't even reach a shot with the bridge and your normal cue. You need to lengthen. I like the way it came off the second rail there, going toward the 9. That's like totally correct way to play position.
Yeah, introduced a little inside spin to get him away from the side cushion. So he had a routine 9 here.
So you don't want to shoot off the rail when you're down 8-3.
8-4. Here's a little look at our total performance average. 860, that's above pro. And 903, that's right at world class. This is a big figure here. The ball's pocketed. That will tell you who wins the match, who makes the most total balls. So the 1 ball actually has just as much value on that as the 9 ball. And rarely will the bigger figure lose to the littler figure and the ball's pocketed.
We don't have the break stats, but I bet there's a difference there too. Lechner
There it
having
is.
the more successful.
Did you ask for break stats? What does ACCUSTATS do? They put the break stats up there for
Scratches
you.
on break 2 to his 1.
Successful
breaks, Lechner has 4 to his 2. So there you go.
Yeah.
That reflects the score,
Left 13, Mr. Lechner.
or at least partly.
A lot of the ball differential will be found there. Get a look here at Lechner's break here, starting rack number 13. See how that 9 ball gets hot when that cue ball comes through there, and Yapp hit that 9 ball and then kicked it up into the side pocket, just the same exact way. So
Now here we go. Here's a great opportunity for Yapp.
Take it or pass back.
He will be fully focused on everything here.
yeah, the one thing about these guys at this level, it's not like they say, well, I got to play mistake-free from here on in, because they started the match trying to play it mistake-free. It's the same. There's none of the shift of the
I agree
tension.
with you.
Nice and smooth. Even from here, you can hear the cue tones when they hit the ball. Tink and tong, rather than thud.
It looks like he might have the angle where it draws it straight in the side, like he might have to cheat the pocket a little bit. I can't see it from here.
Well, here on the overhead, you can see it goes right at the 3 ball. If he hits it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he might have to play for the long corner then. Yeah, there you
Good
go.
call. And that was not effective backspin. That was the stun backspin. That
Yeah,
intermediate
here
shot.
he really needs to figure this out. But I think he can go out past the 5. He's going to have a thin cut, go back and forth, and get on the 5 in the side pocket.
He needs to get right where his tip's at, right in the center of the table. That really, but boy, he's going to have to pop this a little bit to get it to go out
He's
there.
got to pop it because he is a little straight. He's got a really good stroke, man.
I love the way he takes his time. He knows this is the important shot of this race.
yeah.
He can get this. He can get out.
Stroke straight
Oh,
through.
he hit it way heavy.
Yeah.
Hit it way heavy. See it?
He did,
Grazed
yeah.
it. And then look how much pace it took out of the cue ball there. Oh, man.
Yeah, he really underhit that.
I wish we could see it again. It looked like he might have moved his head up just a little bit on the delivery, get that extra power in there, like he was going to lunge at it.
Plus, again, like
No. What's that, Mark?
like we talked about earlier, when you're hitting a ball full, you really need to follow through and use more power. You know, I don't think he decelerated, but he didn't use enough power to get out far enough.
Now look at this. This is courageous here. Jumping a ball like this. That's well, you'll either be courageous or foolhardy. One of the two. It's going to be an extreme.
If he came off the rail and hit the ball and came down, he might scratch. So he probably doesn't like that.
Exactly.
Because this gives him his best chance to win the game. He does jump really well. This is a tough jump shot.
It is. Look how much elevation here. He's going to get right back down. What an attempt. What an attempt that was, Mark. Look at that.
Just rattled it a little bit.
Wow. Man, these guys got some skills there.
Yeah.
You don't see that shot very often.
No. Especially where the cue ball was, he was way up table. Perfect side of the 5. Really playing well, this guy.
Mm-hmm.
I like the way he played shape there. He didn't draw it. He just stunned it over. You know, that's a sweet stroke, man. I love stuff like that.
Indicative that he was pretty flat on that ball. Looking on there in the crowd, we have Josh Filler, Mario He, and Pia Filler. She's a great player, too.
Yeah, she is.
Serious talent right there.
Oh, yeah.
You'd have your hands full if you latched on to any of those 3.
Yeah. He went ahead and played straight in. I think he can just draw straight back, even though he's a little off angle.
Uh-huh.
You just hit to the left side of the pocket and drop back. Don't do anything crazy.
He's not going to go all the way back because he doesn't want to use that much power. So
it's an easy cut shot. He can make sure he makes the 8. That's
just past the side pocket and right towards the spot.
Perfect.
Oh, he went over. He overcooked that a little bit.
Yeah, I
think he's okay.
I saw it differently, but he's still okay, like you said.
No, he's not great, but
pretty
I think
thin,
he's
though.
okay. He's
leaning over.
It is pretty thin, and he's pretty long, so he can reach this. Yeah, no problem. Puts himself on the hill.
Solid pool.
9 games to 4.
9-12.
That is good. Yeah. Even with all of Yapp's struggles, he's still 852, so he's not playing that bad. But boy, just a couple balls that's really tipped the scales. A couple scratches
Mika over there on the other table. He's playing Ralph Zucche.
Yeah,
he's up 6-4
and shooting the 9, 7-4.
7-4. Ralph has played really good this tournament. Ralph Zucche seems like he's been around forever, and he's only 53. I was really surprised by that today. I kind of looked it up because I was curious. Because I was telling the guy, Earl's 60, and he's going to be in the Mosconi Cup. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, that is.
I mean, the only time I could think where there might been some guys at upper age is back when you played. Some of those snooker players had been around for a long time, but I don't even know if they were 60.
Oh, no,
like Higgins,
they were young, yeah.
Were they?
Higgins Might have been late 40s or early 50s when
so
he
not
played.
even then. So you don't.
He played in 95.
Well, it's not common for
Oh, no.
a player to play world class pool at 60 years old.
Right.
But I think it's kind of neat. Gives the old codgers a little inspiration.
Yeah, right
That
now.
played a solid safety.
Right now, Mark, you and I got to really train to try to be the best at the retirement home that we go to, wherever it might be.
Don't do that to me.
Lechner taking
I don't
a look
even
at
like
the
the word
nine.
retire because I envision just laying somewhere. Okay, I'm all done with everything.
Yeah.
I can't go there at all.
No, you can't sit
My
still.
brain won't. I can't envision all that.
Me either.
I'm having too much fun. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I'm really have. Like I said, I've seen Lechner play a couple times, but for some reason didn't fully. I wasn't paying full attention to it. But to see him here live, I really respect his fundamentals, mechanics, his concentration.
The 9 ball's in play here.
Here he goes.
Oh, no.
Are you kidding with that shot?
Wow. 9 ball's not in play. The
What
1 ball.
a shot
What
that
a shot it was. Indeed.
Man, he is really in gear tonight. Man's playing pool.
He played position for the cross-side bank there, just to make sure he got the 2 ball down.
Yeah. I think he's hoping to go around the 7 here. Looks like he has the angle that maybe he might run into it. He's got to be careful.
Right, yeah, he's pointing with his
Coming
cue.
out the 3rd rail, he needs to go around the 7.
Big long stroke here.
I saw him move and he got around the 7. That all worked out, but look at this leave. Now, in looking at this, I would have to put the cue ball behind the 9 and the, what is that, the 6?
Yeah.
I would just roll down there and give him that shot. I mean, unless you see something better, I just think that's the shot. He has no pocket. What else are you going to do here?
He's got a plan. Oh, he's going to put the 3 on the other side of the
Just
9
roll
and
it.
just roll the cue ball up on the 6 here.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Oh,
he's going straight up and down the
this
table.
is even better if he gets behind. Oh, no. See, I don't even want to leave Lechner this shot. the way he's playing.
Well, he didn't want to leave it either. He was trying to tuck it up under the 9
I just felt like
6.
it looked real easy just to run the ball over there, maybe get on the first diamond up there, and put the cue ball behind the 9. You got him kicking. He might hit the 4. Luck could go wrong. But now you're leaving him whole ball, even though it's a very tough shot, low percentage. About 30% make, maybe.
Yeah, but he'll play to overcut it. He'd rather miss it on the high side.
Yeah, and he won't hit it very hard. He just goes right in.
And pocketed it on the high side of the pocket. That was pretty precise.
He almost got behind
nice.
the 9-6 himself there. Yeah, he hit on the right side of the pocket, and that's why the cue ball got away, because he had the right idea.
That's what happens when you purposely play it and then you hit it so good,
All the top pros know about playing to a certain spot on the pocket, to get the cue ball to the desired place.
Imagine at that length these guys are playing to a part of the pocket.
Okay, he's going. Look at that. They just can't get behind that.
No,
Those
look
two
at this. It's the
logs.
same type of well, this is a little bit fuller hit. So
He's going, okay, I made it. I'm going to give you a shot at it. He's got a little tougher shot. He's dead on the rail.
the good news is,
It's
I think he
frozen.
can play the 9-ball if he makes it. So this is the win or lose shot right here.
I like your idea to overcut it on the pro side.
Except on this
come
one.
around.
This is not laying for that. This is just all out, hard of the pocket, win or lose.
Well, don't
this shot.
rattle it.
Nice tempo on the swing. Can't fault him for that. That's how hard that shot was. He actually hit a good stroke. And still,
I mean,
missed.
he left it tough. What are you going to do with the 6? The 9's not dead, I don't
no,
think.
you can play the combination. There's enough of a
really?
gap.
The 9
yeah.
go? You could throw it in somehow?
You don't have to throw it. You just a combination.
Oh, okay.
There's a gap there.
Okay.
If he can make this ball, that's what Yapp was trying for too.
Well, then all you have to do is make it. You just have to make the 5.
That's all.
Oh, look, he's drawn back. And he's really must be feeling good if you can draw this back.
Yeah, big shot.
Oh, he
Pure,
actually, yeah.
Kind of let up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But here's the combination.
That was a pretty smooth stroke. Yeah, let's
Yeah.
see how he hits this. I think at the right speed, it's just going to go in. It might hit the rail a little bit. Just,
This would be match ball here. If he connects, he overcut it.
yeah, I don't think he needed to do that unless I just saw it wrong. Well,
Yeah,
it wasn't frozen,
no.
obviously. Oh, okay. Maybe it wouldn't throw in then. Man, this is a tough shot. I wonder what he's going to do here. Just go ahead and make it? Try to make it, Mark? Or should he?
Oh boy, his.
Safety looks tough.
I guess
Yeah.
he's going to follow to the end rail and back up.
Yep. Got to shoot here.
Well, the reason he wants to level out is it helps the accuracy, but then the extra power diminishes the accuracy. So here we go. And he missed it by a good bit.
Yeah.
There was never
The
anything
9's
easy
gonna
on that
help
one.
him here. The 9's going to help him.
Yeah.
He gets it off a little bit.
It's just kind of like everything that Aloysius has done in this match has not worked, and
Yeah.
can't fault him. That was a quality stroke that time, but it's just super hard shot.
Super hard.
Yeah.
Super hard shot. Yeah.
Good shot.
Wow, kind of boinged out that rail. This is no hanger.
No, it isn't.
Looks like it boinged out that other rail a little bit. Is it wet? Do you think the tables are a little?
No, I think
it's
they're
not playing.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think they haven't been playing like that. It maybe just looked like that to me. Look at this, jacked up.
then that big long bridge, and then last time he kind of decelerated at the end. You know, he's like winding up like he's really going to whack it.
Yeah, and then he. Man,
did-
his head stayed dead still.
Yeah, he did whack
He wanted
that one.
to end this thing now.
And Max Lechner will be back tomorrow. Really, nothing went Aloysius's way at all.
No,
you know.
it didn't. And, he ran into a buzzsaw. Lechner played amazing. Got to give it to him.
That's well, you're in the big leagues here, you know.
Yeah.
And I mean, anybody can beat anybody with that here.
Sure.
Folks, match is
But I saw Yapp play today, and it was impressive. Yeah. And he's not going anywhere. You'll see him again.
Really a pleasure to have you up here, Mark, and thanks for doing this with us.
Thanks. I
Yeah.
really enjoyed it, man, getting the view up here and watching all these players, the last couple of days. It's just been a real treat. And thanks, Pat Fleming and all his staff and everything. These guys have really treated me well. They're all so nice. I really enjoyed it.
Oh, we're glad you could join us and have a great show up in New York and Philadelphia. This
Thank you, sir.
This has been an ACCUSTATS presentation, the worldwide leader in billiard programming. That's our time for this time. Until next time, so long.